Angela from the blog Angela Marie Made, and I'm really excited to show you how to make a spring wood sign today. Over the weekend, my family and I went to the park and all of the azaleas were blooming. We live in Charleston, so they bloom early around here. All the blooming flowers inspired me to make a spring project, so I decided to just use materials that I had on hand, including some scrap plywood and paint. And I created a fresh cut flowers printable using my hand lettering, which I have in my free printable library. I'll link that below on where to find that. To transfer the design onto the wood sign, I used my Cricut to create a vinyl stencil. If you don't have a Cricut machine or other cutting machine, you can also use a pencil transfer method, which I'll link below a tutorial on how to do that. But if you do have a Cricut, it makes it really easy to create the vinyl stencil for transferring it. And that's the method I'm going to show you in this video today. Alright, let's get started with this sign. Step 1 is to cut the sign background board to size. You can use either a 1x10 or some scrap plywood for this step. I used some 1/2 inch thick plywood that I had on hand, and I cut it to 9 inches by 12 inches. Step 2 is to paint the sign backing board. First, begin by priming the backboard. Then add 2 coats of paint and let the paint dry. I used Oyster Bay by Sherwin-Williams in eggshell for my paint color. It's one of my favorite colors and I had it on hand already. Step 3 is to apply the fresh cut flowers printable design to your wood sign. Begin by downloading the free SVG printable file from the free printable library, which is linked below. After opening the SVG file in Cricut Design Studio, go ahead and press Attach. Then click on Make It, and then Continue. And then after your Cricut machine has connected to your computer, go ahead and press the Go button on your Cricut to cut the design out on your vinyl. And I just used a 12x12 sheet of Oracle 631 vinyl to put on my Cricut mat and loaded that into my machine. After your design is printed out on your vinyl, unload your Cricut mat and remove the vinyl from your Cricut mat. Next, go ahead and weed your vinyl. For weeding your vinyl, because you're making a stencil, you want to remove the actual letter part of the vinyl. I like to use a tool with a pin type end. Go ahead and apply transfer tape. To apply transfer tape, you can use masking tape or painter's tape and tape your vinyl design down to your work surface so it doesn't move. And roll out your transfer tape over your design using a squeegee or an old credit card to flatten the transfer tape out over the vinyl stencil. Next, apply your vinyl stencil to your sign backing board. And to do this, I just use a ruler to center my vinyl stencil design on my wood backing board. And I usually measure from the edge of the sign to the non-calligraphy type letters. Sorry that this part is blurry. I didn't realize when I was filming this that the camera wasn't in focus. After I have my vinyl stencil centered on the sign backing board, I tape it down with masking tape so it stays in place. And then I start at one corner and slowly peel off the white backing paper from the transfer tape until it reaches close to the tape in the middle. Then I use scissors to cut the loose white backing paper, and then I secure the vinyl stencil to the wood side by smoothing down the cut side with a squeegee. Now that part of the vinyl stencil is attached to the sign backing, I went ahead and removed the rest of the white backing paper and attached the other half, again using a squeegee to rub against the vinyl stencil to make sure that the vinyl is attached to the wood sign backing. Next, you want to remove the transfer tape from the vinyl stencil and the wood sign. Slowly peel off the transfer tape at a 45-degree angle. If any part of the vinyl starts to come up off the wood sign with the transfer tape, firmly run back over that part of the vinyl with a squeegee and peel back the transfer tape again. After my vinyl stencil was applied to my backboard, I taped the edges off with painter's tape to protect the non-covered parts of the sign. Then I rolled one coat of the same background paint over the stencil. This helps to avoid bleed through, and I definitely recommend doing this step. Finally, I applied a few light coats of white spray paint to my vinyl stencil to transfer the design. You can also use paint too. Once the spray paint was dry, I removed my vinyl stencil and painter's tape from the wood sign, which left my beautiful design transferred to the wood. Step 5 is to drill holes into your wood sign and add rope. Originally, I had planned to frame the sign with 1x2 wood. However, I decided last minute to just drill holes and add some rope to keep the sign simple so that I could hang it up on our DIY hall tree. So it would probably have been easier to drill the holes before priming and painting the sign, but this way works too. So what do you guys think of my spring DIY wood sign? I think it looks really cute on our hall tree in our entryway, which I added some spring decor to and some fresh cut flowers. Well, that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thank you again for stopping by, and please subscribe to my channel for more fun DIY projects.